Hi, this is Peter Schiff. It's Wednesday, December 30th, 2009. Well, as the year is coming to an end, I wanted to make a special video updating everybody on what's happening with the Schiff for Senate campaign. Well, I've been spending the last couple of months really pulling a team together, trying to strategize. I've gone and spoke at a lot of Republican town committee meetings. I speak at one later tonight. I got a few next week. I've also opened up my Schiff for Senate campaign headquarters in Milford. We had a party there, I think just last week. We had 200 or 300 people that came by. We've hired some more people. This week we hired another consulting firm. You know, my first brush with Washington-based consultants when I first had my exploratory committee, I really quickly just grabbed the first consultants that were recommended to me, and they really weren't the right fit. I've now spent some time interviewing a lot of different consultants, and I think I have the right guy on board now. So I think my campaign is really poised to take off in the new year. You know, the things that we haven't done so far, we haven't done any direct mails to Connecticut voters. We haven't had any television ads. We haven't had any radio or print ads. All these things are going to be developed now, starting in the first quarter of next year, to try to bring my message to the voters of the state of Connecticut. But now I have the infrastructure in place. I've got some of the players on board. We've got a lot of volunteers. You know, we've ordered a bunch of signs that we now have. We have the bumper stickers. We got the lawn signs. We have some leaflets. We're still trying to hone my message, and hopefully the consultants will do a good job over the next couple of weeks of fine-tuning my message and figuring out how best to deliver it to the voters of the state of Connecticut. I know a lot of people have expressed some disappointment that I'm not higher in the polls. I think I'm fine. I mean, I've got two opponents right now in this race. Remember, when I first announced my candidacy, there were 4 people in the race, so I was one of 5 candidates. Now I'm one of 3 candidates. And I do believe that the two most popular candidates right now really are not going to appeal to the real hardcore conservatives in the Republican Party, who will be the majority of people who will vote in the primary. I don't think either of these candidates is going to be exciting. And I think the only one that really can capture the spirit of what a Republican is supposed to be, what a conservative is supposed to be, or a libertarian is supposed to be, is me. And I think once a lot of the Connecticut Republicans understand that I'm in this race, that I'm in it to win it, when they understand who I am, when they know my story and what my goals are, should I be elected to the United States Senate, I think I'm going to win a lot of support. I don't think Connecticut voters are excited at all about the choice that they believe they have between a career politician and an entertainer, someone who's been in the promotional business but really has very little background in economics. I think that when more people in Connecticut learn about Peter Schiff and who he is and the things that I've said and the things that I've written and the things that I've done, I think they are going to fall into my camp. So what we need to do now is simply bring that message to the Connecticut voters. And the people who watch this video blog can really help me do that. I already mentioned the phone banking on the Schiff for Senate website, that if people go to that website, they can sign up to be a volunteer, and they can make phone calls and help introduce Connecticut voters to Peter Schiff. I think that's going to be very effective. The more people we can have doing that, the better. Also, the campaign is going to need money. We're going to need a lot of money to win this race. It's going to be expensive. I'm not going to need as much money as some of my opponents, because I do have a lot of volunteers, and that free labor is going to be very valuable. And I think I have a better message, so I don't think it's necessarily going to be as expensive to get that message out. But we're going to need money. I think we've raised, maybe $1.3, $1.4 million so far. That's really a down payment of what we need. This is December 30th. We have 2 more days before the end of the year. That's the end of the fundraising quarter. I'm going to have to report my fundraising totals for the first time since I've been a candidate. I would really like to have more money raised this quarter. I didn't spend a lot of time fundraising this quarter. We didn't raise as much as we raised in the quarter before when I was still in the exploratory phase. So I would really urge everybody who's watching this video blog to go to the schiffforsenate.com page and make a contribution. Make a contribution before midnight, December 31st, so that when I do report my fundraising totals, they're good. We show a lot of support, and the money is going to go to good use. The money is going to be used to spread my message to the voters of the state of Connecticut. And I know, times are tough. It's a recession. Some people think, I don't have the money to give. You got to sacrifice. I think the cause is worth sacrificing for. And, a lot of people have sacrificed much more than money. People have sacrificed their lives to give us these freedoms. We can sacrifice a little money to defend them and to preserve them. And so, whether you give $5, $10, $50, $100 or more, give something. Don't assume that somebody else is going to give and so it doesn't make a difference. We need everybody to give. 10,000 people, I'm sure, are going to watch this video blog. If all 10,000 of you give $10, I raise $100,000. That's significant. If all 1,000 people give $50, I raise $500,000. And if 10,000 people can give $100 to my campaign, that's $1 million. That's going to send a huge message to the voters of Connecticut that this is a serious campaign, and that's going to give me a lot of money to launch this campaign. So that would be fantastic if everybody can do that. And even if you've donated before, I thank you for your donation, but we could use some more. Also, something that you can do is sign up when you go to shiftforsenate.com to sign up to donate. You can sign up for a monthly donation so that every month a certain amount of money is taken from your bank account. And that's great. That really helps the campaign. Also, if you're watching this video blog, after you donate, forward it to as many friends as you can. Let them know that Schiff for Senate campaign is here, it's real, and it just needs your support. Remember, the primary for Schiff for Senate, my primary in Connecticut, isn't until August. I've got 8 months to convince Connecticut Republicans to vote for me. Now, we have a convention at the end of May, but the convention is not going to decide the nomination. With Linda McMahon and Rob Simmons both pretty strong, I don't think we're going to have a clear winner out of the convention. The nominee is going to be decided by primary. That will be in August. That gives us plenty of time to come from behind and win this race. And right now, I think a lot of my opponents are underestimating me, and they're underestimating you. They're underestimating your willingness to donate your time and your money to this cause. But if enough people support me, both with their time and their money, I promise 100% of my effort to win this race. And I'm going to continue to increase my campaign appearances next year and ultimately be devoting almost 100% of my time to the campaign. The campaign is already, getting most of my time. I still have a job. I still have to earn a living. But the campaign is going to be taking up most of my time. And of course, the campaign has already taken up almost 100% of my leisure time. Because a lot of my evenings and a lot of my weekends are spent on a campaign, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of that in the new year. So I think if you guys can support me, if you can support me with donations, if you can talk to your friends about making donations, if you can volunteer, and if you live in the state of Connecticut, we definitely need your help. It'd be great to have some more volunteers on the ground, bringing my message person to person, face to face, to Connecticut voters. But I think there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic. I think right now I'm still flying beneath the radar. I think the media and my opponents are taking me for granted and underestimating me. And for now, I think that's fine. Let them lob grenades at one another while I quietly amass my campaign and launch my campaign beneath their radar screens. And one of these days, all of a sudden, I'm going to show up as a very viable force in the polls. And I think, making some headway among some of the Republican establishment crowd in the state of Connecticut who are starting to realize that the only real candidate running is me. I'm the only one that brings the ideas, the experience, the knowledge, the passion, the commitment, and the dedication to the principles that they stand for. In the Republican Party, we've elected a lot of leaders in the past who have betrayed us, who have run with the promise of shrinking government, and as soon as they join government and become part of the government, they grow it, they expand it, and I think there is a real desire on the part of many Connecticut Republicans for something real, for a change, for a Republican they can believe in that will stand by their principles. And I think everybody knows that if Peter Schiff is in the U.S. Senate, he will stick by these principles, because that's the only reason I'm going there. I'm not going there because I need a new career in politics, because I want to be a career politician. I want to live in the Senate for the rest of my life. I'm only going there for one reason. That's because career politicians have brought this nation to the brink of destruction. And if I get elected to the U.S. Senate, I'm not going to stop until I put an end to that. Anyway, thanks to everybody else, and Happy New Year.